The things that you do frequently become your frequency. And that's such a gem because there's a version of you right now who's jacked in shape, he's confident, he's aura farming and all that good stuff. And then there's a version of you that's the same like you are now. Or there's a version of you that's even worse, that's out of shape. Maybe he's a pencil neck, skinny, noodle arms, maybe he's obese, he's out of shape. There's two versions of you out there that exists, right? The only thing that separates you from those two versions is literally the habits and actions that you take every day, right? So with that logic, you have to act like the person that you want to become to raise your frequency, right? If you want life to give you more higher frequency, higher vibrational, like opportunities, then you have to act like the person who deserves those things. You need to act like the person who already has those things, right? And I know this might sound like woo-woo and like on some mumbo jumbo shit, but like, it's so real, right? Like when you act like the person that you want to be, you will eventually become them, right? Like when I was first starting out my fitness journey and I was, imagining myself being jacked, I saw it first and then I was, I'm going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, almost every day pretty much. I'm eating a lot of calories on a day, I'm trying to bulk up. I'm doing things that a person that is in shape does, and eventually, the actions meet up with the reality. And then I got jacked, and then I put on muscle, right? But it wasn't until I actually acted like someone who is in shape, and then I actually got in shape, right? It's the habits and the goals, right? It's the habits and the goals. It's the habits and the actions that's going to get you there, right? And I'm always talking about recreating yourself, right? And the thing about recreating yourself is I think I got to switch it and say recreate your habits, right? Because it's the habits and the actions that separates you and your ideal self, the version of yourself that you want to be, right? Who have you been for the last 6 months, right? What are the habits and actions that you've been taking for the last 6 months? It's reflecting your current reality right now. If you're not happy with where you are right now, it's because of the actions and the habits that you've been taking for the past 6 months, right? And if you need help changing your habits, changing your actions, and building a character that commands attention that bores the audience, you need help building muscle, building that physique that, you actually look in the mirror and you respect, hit that link in the description. I'm the guy for that. And we'll see if it makes sense to work together, right? Little shameless plug for those of you guys that need it. Make sure you like this video while you're at it and subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that's crazy work. But like I was saying, you need to act like the person that you want to be before you actually become them, right? It's kind of like that. It's, I said it before. It's like you are already him. You just have to act like it, right? Like you're already jacked. You're already jacked. You're already aura farming. You are already that guy. The only thing that separates you from being that guy and who you are now is literally, it's just the actions and the habits, right? And I know it may feel like, when you're taking these actions and habits, you're doing them daily, and it just feels like you're not getting anywhere. It feels like you're on a hamster wheel, and it feels like you're stuck. But what you got to understand is that it's not going to happen overnight, right? The actions of habits, it's like an invisible compound interest, right? Every time you do the actions and the habits, it feels like the needle isn't moving at all. It feels like you're not even moving the needle. But what you have to understand that it's an invisible compound interest. Every time you pay those daily dues of good habits and good actions, doing the things you're supposed to do, you're going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. You're eating what you're supposed to eat. You're working on that side hustle. You're studying every day. Those things start to add up. They build up until over time, eventually you're going to see, wow, look at all this, that compound interest is going to just compound, and then you're going to just see the fruits of your labor, right? But it doesn't happen until you stockpile these things, right? It's kind of like, you ever heard the story of the bamboo? I remember a while ago, Luke Belmar, he had a clip a while back that went viral, and it was so powerful. And he said, the story of the bamboo grows under the ground, horizontally, right? So you don't see the roots, you don't see the bamboo tree for a hot minute. You don't see the bamboo tree for a long time, until one day it just builds up so much that it just shoots up from the ground out of nowhere. And it will look like an overnight success to the world, but the bamboo tree's always been around. It was just growing under the soil, right? And that's like you right now. You have to do the compound interest habits. You have to build the habits. You need to do the actions daily, and it's going to seem invisible. It's going to seem like nothing's happening. But then one day you just, boom, you just shoot up, and you're going to be a whole different person. You're going to be a completely different person because you recreated yourself. See, the journey to recreating yourself, to becoming a man that commands respect and never bores the audience, it's going to be a lot of compound interest. It's going to be a lot of invisible progress that you're not going to see for a long time, until one day you just shoot out of the ground and you're a different person, right? Because in order for your frequency to change, in order for you to vibrate at a higher frequency and attract the things that you want in life, you need to build those. You need to have high frequency habits and actions, right? And those actions and habits, when you do them on a daily basis, it's going to seem like the needle isn't moving, but just know that there's an invisible compound interest that's just waiting to explode. And until that time comes, right, you got to do those daily actions and habits, right? And then you will finally see yourself vibrate slowly at a higher frequency. For example, for me right now, like, I'm starting to just realize this too, is that I got to start, acting like the person that I want to be, right? Like when I first started my fitness journey, I was doing what I was supposed, I was going to the gym almost every day. I was eating what I was supposed to eat. I was doing all of those things. And then eventually, I shot up, and then I recreated myself, and I built a physique that commands attention. I made that transformation from skinny to jacked. And at this point in my life, I think now it's more about, okay, the actions and habits. Like what does someone with 100,000 subscribers do on a daily basis? What time do they wake up at? What do they work on a daily basis? What does their room look like? What does their environment look like? Who do they hang out with? Like what kind of information are they consuming, right? It's kind of things like that I'm working on right now, right? Because this concept, it's not just about fitness. It's about life, right? If you need to act like the person that you want to be, until eventually you just catch up with the reality, just catches up with you. Right? It's really about the actions and the habits. And I think that's been a recurring theme for myself, honestly. Like, it's like, I can't just have this 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing. I got to really just like lock in and recreate my, what I mean? I have to use those lessons that I learned in the gym, translate it to, and I really got to apply it to other areas of my life, really transfer those actions and habits to other areas so that I can truly recreate myself. Because in life, you're always going to recreate yourself, right? It's a constant thing. You have to constantly change, right? You're not going to always be the same person. In every stage of life, you have to constantly recreate yourself. And it starts with seeing the vision of who you want to be and implementing those actions and habits, right? But that's really all I had to say for today, man. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you send this to someone who needs to hear it. Make sure you hit that link in the description to book a one-on-one coaching call. We'll see if it makes sense to work together so that you can build the physique that commands attention and never bores the audience. Remember, there's nothing enlightening about playing small. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video.